Okay, so I want you to imagine for a second that you're standing at the bottom of this huge mountain, and that mountain is the Japanese language.
Right. It's intimidating.
Totally. And for most of us, the only way up is to just start chipping away, inch by inch. You're memorizing all these symbols, wrestling with grammar that feels like it's from another planet. It's exhausting.
It is. It's the classic struggle. You feel like you're just collecting bricks, individual words, and you're hoping that eventually somehow they'll turn into a house.
Exactly. But what if? What if you already had a map? What if I told you that for a huge chunk of Japanese vocabulary, you aren't actually looking at a foreign language at all?
What if you're just looking at a distorted reflection? An echo.
An echo, yes. That is the premise we are exploring today. This is the deep dive, and today we're going to test a kind of linguistic cheat code.
And this isn't, some dusty academic theory about roots from 5,000 years ago. We are looking at something immediate, a practical tool for decoding Japanese, especially if you have any familiarity with Korean.
And we're focusing on just one case study, a single sentence.
That's it, just one sentence. But
Yeah.
the claim from our sources is that this sentence basically holds the DNA to unlock thousands of other words. It's like a master key.
I love that. Okay, so let's lay out the mission. We're going to dissect this one sentence about a garden.
Right. The sentence is, Niwa ni asagao no Tsuru ga nobiteru.
Okay, let's get the standard English translation out of the way first.
In English, it's, the morning glory vines are stretching in the garden.
When glory vines are stretching in the garden.
Okay, if you're a beginner, that is a wall of sound. Niwa, asagao, Tsuru, nobiteru. It sounds completely alien.
It does. It sounds distinctly Japanese.
But our sources today claim that if you put on the right pair of, let's call them etymological glasses, that sentence basically turns into Korean.
It's a bold claim, but it really does hold up. And I want to be clear for everyone listening. We are not saying Japanese is Korean. This isn't about politics. We are just talking about linguistic mechanics. It's like a game of telephone that's been played for 1,000 years.
Exactly. And if you understand the rules of that game, the filter that changes the sounds, you stop memorizing and you start recognizing.
The code behind the matrix. I love it. Okay, let's start decoding. Section 1, the flower. Asagao.
Asagao. This is the Japanese word for the morning glory flower.
And right away, this is our first aha moment because this is a compound word and it's so literal.
It is. It's beautifully simple. You have asa, which means morning, and you have gao, which means face.
Morning face?
Literally, morning face, the flower that shows its face in the morning.
Which is poetic, but it's also logical. Now, if we look at the Korean equivalent, the notes mention akyunat.
Right. Akim, morning, nat, face. The logic is identical, but the real mind blower here is about that second part, the word gao.
This is where it gets crazy because gao is a word I've heard 1,000 times, but I never, ever thought it was Japanese.
You're thinking of the slang phrase, right?
Yes. In Korea, there is this super common phrase, gaojabda. It means like to pose, to act cool, to save face. You see a guy trying to look tough and you say, look at him trying to catch gao.
It's everywhere. High schools, movies.
Yeah.
Most people just assume it's some obscure Korean slang. But the source material just drops this truth bomb.
Yeah.
That gao.
Yeah.
It is literally the Japanese word for face.
No way. That's wild to me. So for decades, people have been walking around saying, don't lose your gao, and they're actually speaking Japanese.
They're saying, don't lose your face. It's a direct loan word that got absorbed into slang, keeping that metaphorical meaning of, your reputation or your coolness.
That totally reframes it. Okay, so bring it back to the flower. Asagao.
Asagao, morning face.
Suddenly, asagao isn't just some random sound to memorize. It's morning plus that slang word for face that I already know.
Exactly. You anchored it. You're not learning a foreign word. You're just realizing that gao has a day job as part of a flower.
Gao's day job. I love that. Okay, so we've got the flower. Now for part 2. This is the technical heavy hitter, the vine.
The vine. In Japanese, the word is tsuru.
Tsuru. Okay, I'm going to be the skeptic here for a minute. The Korean word for vine or string is jewel.
Correct. Jewel.
Jewel and tsuru. I'm sorry, they do not sound alike, not even close. How do we get from A to B?
They don't sound alike to the ear, that's true, but they feel alike to the tongue. This is where we get into phonetic shifts. Our source calls it the Dachitsuteto rule.
The Dachitsuteto rule. Okay, what is that?
It's about the hardening of sounds. It's a pattern you see over and over. Think about the word jewel. Say it out loud.
Jewel.
Where's your tongue?
It's touching the roof of my mouth, just behind my teeth. It's
Right.
a soft sound. Jewel.
Exactly. It's a closed, soft sound. Now, Japanese phonetics tend to take those soft J or D sounds and,
Yeah.
well, harden them. They make them sharper, more distinct, like T or C.
The J gets sharpened into a TS.
Precisely. The evolution probably went something like this. You start with jewel. It likely first became juru to fit the Japanese vowel structure.
Tsuru. Okay, that's a little closer.
But that ju sound is still a bit muddy. Japanese likes things to snap. So under this rule, that initial J hardens. Juru snaps into Tsuru. Tsuru.
You know, when you say it like that and you feel what your tongue is doing, it clicks. You can feel the connection.
It's a physical adaptation. It's a stricter pronunciation of the same root. And this is a systematic change. It's not a one-off.
So if I see other Japanese words that start with tu, I should be suspicious.
You should absolutely be suspicious.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, if I soften this T's back down to a J, does it sound like a Korean word I know? It's like a decoder ring.
So churu is just jewel in a hard shell.
Exactly. And the meaning lines up perfectly. Ju means string, line, or cord. Tsuru means vine.
Which is basically nature's string.
Right. So now we have the morning face strings.
Morning face strings, that's so vivid. Okay, I'm sold on Tsuru. Let's keep going. We have the action. Nobitiru.
Nobitiru. This comes from the verb nobiru, which means to stretch or grow.
Okay, nobiru. This one feels different. What's the mechanism here?
This is a different kind of shift. This connects to what the notes call the NL relationship.
The NL relationship.
Think about the Korean words for stretching or spreading.
Well, there's nul leonada, to stretch or increase, and nil da, like to spread something out.
Newell and Neil. Perfect. What's the common sound there?
They both start with N and end with L.
Exactly. Now here's the rule of thumb. When those roots migrate to Japanese, the initial N is very stable. It's an anchor. It survives the trip.
But the L at the end.
The L is fragile. That trailing L sound is not common in Japanese syllables, so it falls off. It gets lost at sea.
So nul just loses its tail.
Pretty much. Neil sheds the L and morphs into something like nobi.
Nul becomes nobi.
The source mentions the aga-i phenomenon, which is a more technical vowel change. But the big takeaway is simple. N is for N.
N is for N.
If you see a Japanese word with an N that implies stretching or length, look for the Korean nul. The L is gone, but the DNA is there.
So nobiru is just no without the ending.
Precisely. So when you hear nobiteru, you shouldn't think new flashcard. You should think, it's the N word, the stretching word.
That's so helpful. It makes it feel less random. Okay, let's circle back to the very first word. The setting. Niwa.
Ah, yes, niwa, the garden.
This one seems a bit different. The notes say it's more of a conceptual leap.
It is. Niwa doesn't sound like the modern Korean for garden, jingwon, but we're looking for roots. And the source ties niwa back to a very old Korean concept of space.
The notes mention madang, a courtyard.
Right. But think about the function of a magang. It's the space outside the house, the place you go out to.
Okay, I follow.
The Korean verb for go out or come out involves the root na, like nagata.
A nawa place, a place you go out to.
And there's the line. From the concept of nawa, the place of going out to the Japanese niwa.
So niwa is functionally the place you go out to.
Exactly. And notice that N sound again. Just like Neil and Nobi, you have nawa and niwa. The N anchors the concept.
Wow. Okay, this is really coming together. Let's reassemble this thing. We started with niwa nesago no tsuru ga nobiteru.
And we're going to translate it into what we're calling root language.
Yeah, let's do it. So first word, niwa.
That becomes nawa, the garden space.
Next up, asago.
That's akim plus gao, morning face.
Okay. And then tsuru.
That's jewel, the string.
And finally, nobiteru.
Becomes newel, stretching.
So the sentence in its bones is, in the Nawa, the morning face jewel is nuling.
That's it?
That sounds ridiculous. It sounds like a pidgin language.
It does. But phonetically, that is what's happening. If you mumbled that sentence, a Korean speaker and a Japanese speaker from 1,000 years ago might both get the gist.
That's the real aha moment. The distance between the languages isn't some massive chasm. It's more like a dialect shift.
It completely removes the intimidation factor. The source uses this great visual of a playing card. On the left side, you have the Korean concept jewel. On the right, the Japanese output tsuru. They look different, but they're printed on the same card.
Two sides of the same coin. I love that. Okay, let's recap the two big takeaways, the practical tools someone can use tonight.
First tool is definitely the Dachitsuteto rule.
The sound hardener.
Right. When you see a TS or C in Japanese, stop. Ask yourself, if I soften this back to a J or a D, does it sound like a Korean word I know?
Tsuru becomes jewel. You're reverse engineering it.
Exactly. And the second tool is the NL root expansion.
N is for new.
When you see a Japanese word with an N that implies stretching, spreading, or space, look for the Korean nul. Remember, the L probably fell off the boat, but the N DNA is still there.
Nul becomes nubi. These are predictive patterns.
And the human brain loves patterns. It turns learning from rote memorization into a game. You become a detective.
You're not just a student, you're an etymologist. Now, I want to go back to Gao for a second before we wrap, because that one just, it really stuck with me.
It's fascinating how slang can preserve history like that.
And to think I've been speaking Japanese slang since I was a kid without a clue. It makes you wonder what else is hiding out there.
Well, that's the question, isn't it? If asagao is morning face, think about other words with gao or cow in them.
Oh, that's a good challenge for the listeners.
Think about the word igao,
A smile, right?
a smiling face.
Anyway.
E implies smile. Gao is face. Or yoko gao. Yoko is side. Gao is face.
Your profile, a side face. Whoa.
Once you know gao is face, you unlock the whole family of words. You don't learn them one by one.
It's like getting a key in a video game that opens 10 doors at once.
Exactly. And that's really what this is all about. To take one scary-looking sentence and show you that it's actually familiar, it's a friend you just haven't recognized yet.
So for everyone listening, here's your challenge. Next time you're studying or even just watching anime, listen for the jewel inside the tsuru. Try to spot the gao.
Look for those shifts. You'll be surprised how often they show up.
It's not about learning from scratch. It's about connecting the dots.
Exactly.
This has been absolutely fascinating. It really makes you realize how interconnected we all are. We draw lines on maps, but words just walk right across them.
They do. We're all borrowing from the same ancient toolbox.
Well, I think that's all the time we have. Hopefully your brain is feeling a little more elastic, a little more newell than it was 20 minutes ago.
I see what you did there.
Had to. Thanks for diving in with us. Keep listening, keep decoding, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.
Goodbye, everyone.